So we've just finished our ride from Huong Khe all the way to Huong Khe. Originally we were going to stop halfway, but in the end we got there by just after lunch, and we figured we could make it to Huong Khe, and we did just after sunset, so we didn't have to drive in the dark. Actually, Emma had a few problems with her bike today. First one was that, yeah, the bike, which Emma has now called, what have you called it?
Jessie.
It's called Jessie. Jessie Rivers, which sucks because I've just called my bike River.
No, his bike's called Mandy.
Yeah. Anyway, the name is still under speculation. Jessie had a bit of an oil leak, so we had to find a mechanic, which isn't so hard. There's probably one every couple kilometers in this country, with almost everyone in the country owning a bike. It's kind of a necessity. But we went to a couple mechanics before we found one that would actually fix it, because the first one got angry with us because we kept asking him to speak to our mechanic on the telephone. But in the end it got fixed. But just as it was coming up to sunset, the wiring in Emma's bike is a bit loose, and she she lost the ability to use her headlights and also to be able to turn right. And actually, between here and there, Emma ran out of petrol, but insisted there was definitely enough to get there, and that the bike was crap and the bike was falling apart and it was the last straw.
Jessie died.
And then in the end,
Jessie died.
I always keep like a bottle of 1.5 liters of emergency petrol
to revive her.
So
came back to life.
I poured it back into her engine, and sure enough, the bike was working. Oh God, that's a miracle. Anyway, we got to Huong Khe. We looked at 2 hotels, and the first one was nicer, so we went back there. But we had a bit of a drama. We got in the room, and actually there was damp dripping from the ceiling, and there was the sheets were all dirty. There's someone else's like snot and stuff on them, and it was generally just not as good as it appeared on the surface. So when we went back downstairs and asked them to change rooms, they refused, because they said we'd been in the room for 30 minutes. But actually we'd been in the room for 5 minutes, because we'd walked in, seen the state of it, dropped our stuff and come back down. Anyway, to make a long story short, they wouldn't let us move rooms. So we said we would leave, and then they surrounded our bikes before we left, because they said we owed them money because we were in the room. We'd actually entered the room. In the end, they didn't charge us. They sent someone up to check the room who said, yeah, the room was clean. So we drove off without incident. But we're not happy at all. These people were mean. So we're in the second hotel, which has got a slightly smaller room.
I can't believe you're talking this much about the room.
Yeah, but it was okay. So yeah, the plan is tomorrow to get the last few bits on Emma's wiring sorted. Probably on the way, because luckily we don't need the headlight yet. But we're going to go down to Huong Khe and spend the night around there. Maybe spend 2 or 3 days there, which would be nice. Alright guys, see you later.